My story starts in late July. It was July 21. I think it was the first day of our holiday. A hot chilly day. I stood in the sun and looked at the sea. I was even slow in the morning. I was bored at Portsmouth with my father and my sister. Lucy. Sea birds play near our big boat and the small boat near us on the sea. I start to look at the people with us on our boat. They all watched the seabirds and talked and laughed. They were unhappy on the first day and their holiday too. And suddenly there he was, this tall white boy in a flu and white shirt. He was really good looking. I always remember the first time I saw it. He didn't see me then. He was with some friend. One of those was his father. I think they had the same blue eyes, the same mouth and nose, nearly the same hair. His brother and one of the boys with him tried to catch the beach birds, and she smiled at them. Then they come and stood near birds, and they talk about small pots on on the sea. I watched him over Lou's head on time. His brother and his friend made a lot of noise, but he was quiet, didn't talk a lot. Then suddenly he looked at me and his eyes stayed quiet on me. And he smiled his lovely smile with his bright blue eyes. The people near me on board, the sun, the sea, the birds, and the noise of his friends. Tom it all stopped. At the moment, there were only him and me and him and his smile for me. Only the two for us. Slowly, very slowly, the boat started to move away. I crossed the water to Spain. It had a day and night on the boat from Boston to Saturday in Spain. A day and a night together on the same boat with him. It was a big new boat with cafe, shop, and cinema and a disco. In the evening, Ross and I went to the disco together. I had a coke and I listened to the music, watched dancer, but he wasn't there. Then suddenly a tall boy in a black and white shirt came in. It was him. It was his friend. And they stopped and looked out slowly on the people in the disco. It's there in the air, and he stood and looked for a long time. Then he saw me and he smiled a big, friendly smile. I wanted to stand up and sing and dance. Then with him I came around the room and slept near our table, and he asked me to dance. Suddenly he was inside with me. We danced together for a long time after that. But then I looked up, and there was a second tall boy in blue and white t-shirt at the door in the disco, with the same eye and the same mouth, and nearly the same hair. But the boy near the door and that night, white, shy face, not big, open, friendly smile. Suddenly, I knew this was his brother, with me on the dance floor. Not him, I was with wrong brother. He stood for a moment near the door and watched me, his brother, to the dance floor with sad eyes. I want to run to him, to take his sad face in my hands, and say sorry. I look at me. Then we go too quickly. I stopped dancing, walked back to my table, and sat down. His rod started to dance with Rose. I didn't sleep that night. I talked about him all time and listened to the noise of the boy and the sea. In the minute I went to the cafe at 8 o'clock and waited there with my sister for a long time. I wanted to say sorry to him. I had 4 cups and coffee, and I don't really like coffee. But I didn't come. Where was he? Where was he? At 11 o'clock, we arrived in Santander. I want to stop the boat. I want to stop the holiday. I want to stop to go back inland. I only want to see him again. I talked to him. I asked his name, but he wasn't there. I started Spanish at school in September and I like it. We don't got a good teacher. Always, Mr. Webb, not always. My brother always say to me, he is an owl. No, you know. Oh, well, sorry, Mr. Webb. Always there was so much for my school to my play in Spain. For the first 2 weeks of the holidays, every July. Always is okay, not bad for the teacher. We were at the both mouth with our Webb. Sorry, Mr. Webb. There were 100 people on the boat. It was hot in sun. A lovely day. People watched the sea and the small boat. I like being in the sun and thinking about 2 weeks holiday in Spain. Always started on the history about Argentina. But I don't listen. I start to look at the people, and this girl was then near me, really good looking with nice brown eyes and black hair. I'm really shy and am not very good with girls. I didn't talk to her then, but I looked her with her sister and her mother father, and they were away to sigh at for me. Moment before they went, my brother now saw her, and he looked quietly at my red face. I want to see her again, perhaps in the cafe at the lunchtime, or perhaps in the cinema in the afternoon. But she wasn't there. She don't remember the fee. In the evening, we had a drink with our Webb and lovely Celestia. After that day and Harry went to disco. I want to meet the girl. I don't like dancing now. I want to disco later. I want to see her again. The love girl with the danceable eye and the nice smile. I was stuck in a disco and I saw nearby the other one. I watched dancer. Then I went to on the dance floor and she was with David, with my brother, with my son. I don't want to what. I walked out. I went to look at the sea and talk about Winkai quietly. I talk about her, and David. I was up early in the morning before sitting alone. When I went to again, I watched the early morning sun and the sea. There was only one old man and the sea bus there with me. The old man smiled at me, but we didn't talk. I liked being quiet. I went in, I had a coffee in the cafe, and I want to eat. All the time, I want to see her. I want her to talk into the coffee and come across my table and sit down with me, tell me her name and talk to me. But she didn't come. She waited quite, but she didn't come. At 8 o'clock, I went to find it, and David was very quiet on there, and he was really nice to me. And I didn't see her again before we arrived in Santander at 11. She wasn't there. Camilla is a small town 15 kilometers from Santander. Near the sea, in the town, there are crowded streets and an old building at the world small center. There were more shop and coffee with a stable and chair in the store. Under the sea, a lot of people from Madrid come to Camilla and their holiday. He didn't see me then. He was with some friends. One of the boys was his brother. I think they had the same blue eyes, the same mouth and nose, nearly the same hair. His father and one of the boys with him. He tried to catch the beat, and he smiled at them. They came and stood near us, and they talked about a small boat on the sea. The people near me on the boat, the sun, the sea, the birds, the noise, slowly. I'm really shy, and I'm not very good with girls. I didn't talk to her then, but I watched her with her sister, her brother, and her mother. Then they walked away and he smiled at me for months because they went. I saw her. Comedios. Comedios is a small town 50 kilometers from Santander, near the sea. In the town there are wide streets of old buildings, and there is a small square. There are small shops and cafes with tables and chairs in the squares. Under the streets, a lot of people from Madrid come to California for their holidays, and a lot of people of Ireland stay in the town too. In the evening in Chile and June, and I guess people like want to work in the street comedians. They stop in the square, stand and talk together. The children play together. Some people sit at a cafe table and have drink and watch your children or read their newspaper or talk. It was disconnect in Colombia on the evening after the boat arrived in Santander at Portsmouth. There was a lot of people in the square, as many people from Colombia and Madrid, but families from England and France and Germany and holiday too. Some English families from the port were there all now in the community for a ride or two. Donna was there her family and a table under some trees. Her eyes were on the dancers, but she didn't see them. She music was in her ears, but she didn't hear it. She didn't want to look or listen or dance. She didn't want to be there. She only wanted to see the lovely. She shied from the boat, perhaps to dance with him. First, Mr. and Miss West want to go to little place near the beach where they always had go finish. They wanted to have a good time on their first evening in Spain, and later they were in disco in this square and columnist Mark didn't want to go. He didn't want to eat or dance or talk or laugh. He wanted to sit quietly and think about the good-looking girl on the board. Where was she now? But David and Henry and Nick and Sue and wanted him to go. Later that evening, he went into square and Calumet were with his friends. They found a table at one of the cafes and they all sat down. Mark looked closely at the people at the table near them. Donna looked sadly at the people dancing and standing in the square. Then their eyes met. Tom stopped it. He was here. She was here, back at him with her dark brown eyes. Suddenly he was inside. He stood up and started to walk across to her. She was on her feet, their hands me. She wanted to dance me now. The other watched and smiled. They all knew and they watched and smiled happily. You see, only David really knew the story. Only David knew this friend for his brother, and Donna and Mark started to dance. They were together. Tom Slayers loved adventures. He set a lot of adventure at home, at school, and at his friend. He was on one adventure in the cafe. But why he's there? What else on is still the cafe, and why is she afraid? Mark Twain is famous American writer. His name was Schedule Clemens. Young man living happy life. A small town on the Smith River. He loved the river. He liked watching the beach box on it. He worked on the boats on the Sif River for 2 years. Then he go to the Navy and he looked for the street shoe, but he didn't find it. He want he worked for a newspaper there. His story was the name of the most time and people loved them. Later, Rusty in the New York, his book The Adventure Storm Sayer is about a young boy in a small town in the 1800. Hopefully, the Steve fan the adventure hook better TV film. Today, many people somehow discover they want to go see Matt, Home and the Matt and the cafe in the adventure. So they living in his aunt because his mother and his father were dead. Tom didn't like go to the school and he didn't like working. His life playing and having adventure one dry day. He didn't go to school. He went to the rider. Aunt Polly was angry. You are a bad boy, she said. Tomorrow you can play with your friends because you didn't go to school today. Tomorrow you are going to work for me. You can paint the fence. Saturday morning, Tom was not happy, but he started to paint the fence. His friend Jim was the street. Tom asked him, do you want to paint? No, I can't. I'm going to get water. Then Beth came to Tom's house. He watched Tom and said, I'm going to screen today. You can queen because I'm walking. Tom said, this is not work. It's like painting. Can I am bad to the paint? No, you can't. Everybody asks me because I'm very good painter. I'm a good painter too. Please, can I paint? I have some fruit. Do you want it? Give me the fruit, then you can paint. Ben started to paint the front later. Many boys came to Tom's house. They want to paint and they want to paint too. Give me some food and can you paint? Tom stayed in the yard and the boys painted. Tom stayed in the yard and the boys painted. They painted the French 3 times. It was beautiful and white. Tom went into the house. "Okay, boy, I can paint now," he asked. The boy was surprised. The boy went to the yard and looked at the French. She was very surprised, very happy. "It's beautiful. Yes, you can play now." Tom was to his friend's other house and played with his friend there. Then he walked home again. There was a new girl and he had a long hair girl. She was beautiful and Tom wanted to talk to her, but she didn't see him. She went into her town. Tom waited, but she didn't come out again. One morning, because school, Tom's friend Hutchin waited for him in the street. Her didn't have come, and he never went to home. People the child didn't like him. But Tom liked her. Her said, "He's a fan of adventure. We can do our adventure. Let's go to the graveyard at night. Tell a love. Hook. They're a good adventure. Let's meet at event a lot." "Where are you late again?" "I'm late because I thought to her film too sad." Then the teacher was very angry. She quit the girls. He said to Tom. Tom sat near and the beautiful new girl. He was happy. He looked at her. "What's your name?" "Basically," he answered. Tom smiled and said, "My is Tom." The teacher was angry again. Estelle left Tom Beckley. "Don't go home." They stayed in the schoolyard and talked. "I love you. Do you love me?" "Yet I want to love." Because Bentley was angry with Tom, she walked away and didn't answer. Tom was unhappy. He didn't go to school in the afternoon. That night, Tom went go to the bed at 9 o'clock, but he didn't sleep. At even o'clock, he went go to his bedroom window to the yard. Hawks were there. They walked into the garden. They stopped behind some big tree and talked quietly. Suddenly there was a noise. This man came into the graveyard. The doctor much butter in the chin. What I can kill the doctor with a knife. The man asked what I want to go quickly, but they are afraid. They want go to the year term. Hodge says we can talk about this until you can find us and kill us. John went in his bedroom window. He went to the bed, but he didn't sleep well. The man didn't want to talk to their friend Aunt Polly about that night because they were afraid of seeing Joy. Later, Sammy went to Mus Butter and said, "You are a bad man. You killed." The summer vacation started, and Beth ran away with her family. Tom was unhappy. Then Mr. Boston child started. The man had remembered the night in the graveyard. They were afraid of Joy. Did you talk about the night in the graveyard? No, I didn't. Hurt answered. Didn't you? No, Tom answered, but I am sorry about Mud Potter. He is always friendly to us. He didn't kill us, though. I want to have him. Let's set some food to him. The boy visited the Buster. Here's some food. They said, "Thank you, you are a good boy." The manhunt went to the chair and listened to for 2 days. Tom didn't sleep and were at night because he wanted to have water. One day, the trio talked. I was the race. The people at the trial were surprised. Joy quickly went out the building. Tom and Hurt were very afraid. Now Joy knew about us. Many people wanted to hear about the boys' adventure in the race. So like talking about it, he was happy too. Because he didn't sleep well because he was afraid of Joy. One Saturday afternoon, Tom wanted to have an adventure because he didn't want to think about Joy. He went to her and said, "I'm going to look for Jisoo. Do you want to come with me?" Hot on way later adventure. Where can we look? Let's start looking at the old house near Mr. Rowe. Old house are good places for Jisoo. The boy went to the old house. They wanted to look at every room. First, they went into the kitchen and they went into the bedroom. Suddenly, two men came into the kitchen. Joe and his friend. The boys were afraid and stayed in the bedroom very quietly. Joe walked across the kitchen. "We can put our money here," I said to his friends. He started to dig under the floor with his guide. "What is? I'm going to get it down." There was a big box under the floor. He opened it with his guide. There was a lot of money in the box. "Look at the money," his friend. "Let's go now. We can come back and get it tomorrow." "We are going to take it with us now. We can take it to that place, the place under the grass." Then the man went around the house. Joe talked quietly and his friend. The boy listened and were afraid. "Did you not hear that? He wants to kill us." They went to out the house quietly and went home. The boys are afraid of Joy, but you don't want to go find his Jisoo. They wanted his house every night, but they didn't see Joy or his Jisoo. There was a lot of money in the box. In August, Peckley family came back from their vacation. Tom was very happy. He didn't think about Joy Jisoo. Bentley and her friend got out the river on a big boat. The boat went down the river and crossed it. Then it stopped it. The children went out the boat and played games near the river. In the afternoon, one boy asked one to go to the big cave. The children went to the cave. It was dark and cold there, but they played games. In the evening, they go back the boat and went home. Sunday morning, Beth Mother and Aunt Polly talked to Mr. Harper at church. "But most other where my Becky Did she live at your house? No, listen. Mr. Hub answered, I don't see her. My son don't come home. He stay out your house. Then about Oliver and Becky mother asked the children, did Tom and Becky come home? Did you see them in the bar? The children answered, no, we didn't see them, but it was dark. Then about said, maybe they are in the cave. 200 men looked for Tom and Becky in the cave. They looked for 3 days, but they didn't find them. People in the town were very sad. Hot didn't go on the Becky adventure. He stayed home and watched house that night. At 11 o'clock, Joe and his friend come out and walked down the street. There was a box in his friend's hands. Hot said quietly, maybe the street boss. He went after the two men. They went to the Mr. Dollar's house and stopped in her yard. Huck stayed behind some small streets. The men talked and Huck listened to them. Joy was angry. I want to kill her as one to his friend Mr. was back to me. He is dead now, I will remember. There's a lot of light in the house. Maybe her friends are visiting. Ginger's friend said, we can come back tomorrow. Let's go now. Hot light Mr. Dollars because she was alright good to him. She wanted to help her. She quietly walked her way, and then he started to run to Mr. Don's house. Mr. Don opened the door. What do you want? He asked Huck. Johnny and his friend are in the Mr. Rowland. They want to kill her. Can you go there and help Mr. Douglas? The man talked and Huck listened to them. Yes, my son and I can go there. You can go home. In the morning, Huck went back to the Mr. house. How's Mr. Dad? She is great. Mr. Dad answered, well, need a baby because we arrived. Good. But he was afraid of John. Please don't say my name to Mr. Dollars. Mr. John looked at him and then he said, you are unwell. Go and sleep in my bedroom. Later, Mr. Dale visited Mr. John. You had me yesterday night. Thank you. You are a good man. We didn't know about the man in your yard. A boy whether I wanted to have you. He came here, but I can't say this name. Mr. John and Mr. Dollars went to the church. People there talked about Tom and Becky. Mr. John and Mrs. and his son went to the cave with the man, but on Monday morning they went home, hot, clean, bad, and was very sick. They went to go back at the cafe, but Mr. Dollars stayed in hut. Saturday, Tom and Becky went and played in the cafe. But then they stopped near some water. What time is it? I don't know, Tom said. Let's go back now. The two children watched and watched, but they don't find the door in the cafe. Becky was afraid. She wanted to sit down and eat. Maybe they're looking for us now. Here's some food. Eat this and wait here. I'm going to look for the door. Tom watched and watched, but didn't find the cafe door. Suddenly there was a man near him. Tom was afraid, but he stayed quiet. He looked at the man. It was John. Tom was very afraid. He made a noise, so he went away quickly. Tom went back to Becky, but he didn't talk to her about Joy. They were in the cafe for 3 days, 3 days. Becky don't want to go work. Again, Tom said, stay here. I'm going to look for the door. This time he went to a new place. There were lights in the light. It came from a small door in the cave. Tom went out the cave. Then he went back to Becky. Come with me. We can go out of the cafe. Tom and Betty went out the cafe. They were very happy. They went to the river, waited there. So many small boys come to them. One go to home. Can you help us? We can get you home. Tom and Becky went to in the park with the man. They arrived home very late Thursday night, and people in the town very happy. Tom talked all night about their adventure in the cave. Tom and Becky stayed home for many days. Then, 2 weeks after the adventure, Tom visited Becky and talked to her father. Mr. Teacher there says you are very good boy, Tom. You have a cave in the cave, and you people can go into now, because new Peter, but in Jonah live in the cave. Some men went down the river to the cave. Tom went with that. They opened the new door upon which was there, but he wanted. Tom wanted to talk to Hunt. Later in the week, he went to Mr. John's house. The boy to talk to about their adventures. The money is an enjoy house. It's in the cafe, I know, because so what else? Let's get it. Huck was afraid, but maybe we can find it. I can find it again, Tom said. I know about small dog and the pack, the cafe. Betty and I came out here. We can go in the door, and I can find John Jisoo. That afternoon, the boys went in a small boat to the back of the cafe. Tom walked first, and Hurt went after him. They worked and worked. This is the right place. Joy was here. The boy looked at a good place for Jisoo. Suddenly, look there cross. George said, the cross, look at here. The boy went the place with the cross. I'm going into detail with my knife. Look, it's the Jisoo box. Let it out now. The Jisoo out. This box is very heavy. We can take it with us. I have some small bags. We can bet the money in them and take it home. The boys went out the cave with the money. Let's take the money to the outhouse near Mr. Roth's house. At a good place for it. They started to walk to the outhouse. Mr. John was in Mr. Roth's yard. He called to the boys. A lot of people are waiting for you. Come with me, he said. They went into Mr. Roth's house. Wash your hands and face and put on the shirts and jeans. Then come to the bedroom. The boys went to the room. A lot of people were here. Mr. Dollars, first I want to say thank you to Mr. John and his sons. They helped me. They are very good. Thank you. You are a good boy. I like you. I want to give you a home and some money. But Hurt has a lot of money. He went to the bathroom and came back with the bites. We have this money from the cave. There's a lot of money in them, and it's out now. There were $12,000 in the base. The people were very surprised. They asked about the boys' adventure. Hurt living in the big house with Mr. Dollars. He was a new person. He was every day, and he went to go to the school and church. But he wasn't happy. He stayed there for 3 weeks, and then he ran away. Tom went to Hurt when you will run away. Mr. Lawler is a good woman. I like her, but I can't live with her. I don't like watching every day, and I don't like going to school and church. I don't want to have a lot of money, but I want to be your friends. No, I can be your friend because the boy at school don't want to play with you. We're thinking about a lot of new adventure. Please leave with Mr. Dollars and come to school. Then the boy said, cool, can play with you. I want to be your friend, and I want to have adventures with you. And the boy said, cool. Maybe I can live with Mr. Dollars. I don't know, but I'm going to try it again for months. Good. The boy are meeting later at 12 o'clock at night. You can come too. Captain hate Moby Dick because he's lost a leg to the white while in a fight. Now, the captain of the warship can only think of one thing. He has to find Dick and kill him. Many of the other sailors on the ship don't know about their captain's plan. Mel is a young sailor, and this is his first voyage job. He and his new friend we sail with captain. Also on the trip are sucked from different countries. Beautiful Murphy. Herman Melly was born in 1819 in New York City. His father died when Haram was 12. There's no money after that, so from the age of 15, her mom had to work. He had a managed job. He worked in a bank and was a car teacher. Then he began working on shift. He left New York in 1841 on his first voyage ship. Herman loved the ocean, but whaling was a very hard life. He left the ship after 18 months, but his life gave him ideas. Another story. He sailed back to the United States in 1844 and wrote books about his exciting life on the ocean. People loved them and they saw wealth. He married and bought a farm. He began to write, but people don't like it as much as his early books. Herman managed to move back to New York. Now people around the world know the story of the captain. Some people say that it is the best book in the English language. I don't understand, but I am very tired. So I went to the room, got into the bed. I fell asleep very quickly. A noise outside the door woke up at me. I opened my eyes, but I don't speak. The door opened and a man came in. It was dark, so I couldn't see him well. Then he lit a fire in the fireplace. When I saw him in the light of the fire, I said that he was a hurt man, very, very ugly. He had black lines over his face and body, and almost no hair on his head. He wore a strange skirt and no other clothes. The hot man suddenly jumped onto my bed. "Help!" I shouted. "Help!" The Batman ran in. "Stop!" The man wants a bed for tonight. He's sleeping here. Then he turned to me. "This is quiet. The Phoenix Whaler on the ocean. Don't be fair. He won't hurt you." He laughed and left us. After he left, we were very quiet. "I'm sorry," I said. "I too." His English was slow and careful. We began to talk, and then we couldn't stop. Listen to my life story and listen to his. He came from Congo, a long way away in the Pacific Ocean. He had a good life because his father was a important man. But we want to see the world. So she left his home and sailed away in his small boat. Wallace ship found him and gave him work. He was strong and whistled so a 5 quarter now. He never went home. When the morning came, we were dry friends. Stood up and shouted, "You will be a Wallace ship today. You and I will sail around the world." And do you know something? He was right. We knew because he could see the future. I learned this. Later, I was strong and wonderful new friend. That morning, I looked around and for a good worthy ship. I stopped looking when I saw the pool. It was tall and strong. Its wood was dark from many years on the real since. I went to the ship. A man sat at a table with a big book in front of him. It was a long black coat and a big black hat. He didn't smile. This is a fine ship and want to go issue with you. Where do I my name, Captain? I asked happily. I'm not a captain. Captain have a chic. He is down below. I'm stupid. I'm a wallet. No, but I'm a good sailor. I'm not interested in your captain and your ship, he said. Sailing is not quarreling. Quarreling is half life. You will be away from home for many years. The work is difficult. You have to be strong and fast. And it's very dangerous. I want to learn and I want to see the world. Oh, I will see the world and you will see more, good and bad. Some very bad things. He looked at me for a minute, then he spoke again. I will tell you about what the captain had on that. And do you know why? Because White took his other leg, a hut, while took his kid out. I say nothing. What could I say? So you want to be worse on the captain of this? Can you looking for the eyes and the words? Can you stand in front of its hurt mouth and throw your harpoon? I can and I will assault it. I'm not afraid. I'm a good sailor. You see, this is my life. And he stopped me and turned the big book around. Write your name here. I suddenly felt afraid. Of course we do, I say. I turn on a queer, come my friend, I say. Let's leave this crazy old man. And we go quickly to the ship. We say on the Christmas morning, Captain Avis didn't come up and meet the whaling. But every night we heard him. He walked up and down, up and down. All night we heard Slopback speak. Please, Captain, stop, you are making your man up. No, I can't sleep. So my men one is sleepy. They can't think of what is in their beds. That's their job, shouted Captain. I talk up. Works. The devil's helpers. Where's the man on the pouch? Davis? They were unhappy. Starboard. Then there was Stud. He was very different. His own way love and talk funny story. For my best, I'm look around and I maybe a bit love with Mattis and the other Wallace. They were from many year country and had enchanted story. There was an on good man, but they was an devil who are captain of the devils. For 3 weeks, Captain had stayed below. Then one day suddenly, he was there in front of us. He was a thin man, but he was strong. He had a half face with lines on it from year of sun and wind. His hair was white and weird. His clothes were black. Then I saw it. His white, swollen blonde leg and undoubtedly white lines run down from the top of his head. Did it go down to his feet? Oh, what fight did he lose so badly? He turned and looked and asked the angry eyes. What do you want? Do you see while Sheila shouted? Captain shouted angrily at Star. He took my leg. He took half of me. Now I'm half a man, and Moody Dick will pay for this. I will follow him to South America, to Africa. I will follow him to the end of this world. I will see him yet dead. He turned to all the wallets. Are you with me, man? Yeah. Yes, they shouted. They said it. They saw the goal. They saw it and laughed. Only Starbuck stood quiet. His face was as dark as the sky before it rained. What's your problem? Captain asked him angrily. Then he smiled. It's too dangerous. That's the problem. I'm not afraid of dangerous work, answered Starbuck. But I don't for wild oils. I fight wild for their oil, for money. You hate this world. Wild. How much oil will that bring you? How much money? Whale shouted from the top of the ship. Captain, come quickly. Get the boat. He shouted. The whale sent a shoulder and water up in the cage. Suddenly 5 men came up from below and stood by Captain. Their faces were dark, and they had long black hair. They wore strange white pants and no shirts or shorts. One of the men was older. He was darker and only had one tooth. He wore a strange white hat, so we couldn't see his hair. His black eyes looked only at the captain. These were Captain Davis. Captain half shouted to this man. There's a man's box went down into the water. Captain about men come to. In their boat, his men was strong and their boat quickly sided in front of Yao. I turned to Beat. I understand now. These are the men you had them speaking before. I talked to you, Beat shouted back. Stop talking around. So they stopped from the back. Do you think this is a tea party? Stop always shouted at us. But we were never afraid of him. He always had a smile on his face. Stark was the captain, our small boat. He didn't talk to us, but he heard him say quickly, who are those men? What is the captain doing? Captain shouted to his boat from the beach. But his men only had ears for Fedora. Their eyes never left face and their boat went faster and faster. This was my first whale. Maybe we will kill it. I thought. I was excited. Every day whalers were excited. But why weren't we afraid? Because our heads were full of money. Oh God. The sky suddenly turned dark with rain, but we didn't go back. We had some can't skill a whale because before the heavy rain comes. Queen stood ready, his harpoon in the front of your boat. Suddenly the quiet was there again, and came up the water under our pot. Men and harpoon went everywhere. Then the heavy rain came. In minutes, our pot was full of water. Strong wind attacked of the shore. The whale restless and swam down into the dark water. After some time in the wind stopped with widening and they started tonight. We couldn't see anything. Where were we? Where were all the boats? The men weren't angry with Starbucks. The water can play games with the best sailors. More hours came and went. We were wet, tired, and afraid. Then we saw a lark back in the water. Was it a whale again? No, it's a pier. But the men couldn't see us. It's going to hit us, shouted Bob. We jumped to the ocean and began to search for help. When the men of the beach had us, they both dropped down. Then they helped us onto the ship. The other men were their captain, men too. They turned back when they didn't see the white whale. We fought and killed many whales after the first night, but our work didn't finish when we killed them, where we then had to climb down onto the dead whale and cut up the fat. We had to work quickly because sharks come for the whale meat. Sharks couldn't eat a whale in the one night, and some of these whales were almost as big as our ship. We cut up large quarries of fat and pulled these quarries onto the ship. This is a long hard job. It's a long dangerous because sharks swung around us. We went cut the fat and made the oil. When the oil was ready, we put it into barrels. I gave it light and made it warm because there were two people there after a knocking tent. Captain always asked the other ship about the white whale. Some captain knew about my particular, some laughed at the captain. But this year only while the story, nothing more, they said. Then one day they met the study. The ocean was quiet and the captain, Captain Boone, came into our ship. He was a friendly man and smiled at us. He only had one arm. This morning, this that your arm? Yes, I lost a man to the white whale. The captain answered. Come with me, he shouted happily. Oh no, I can't do that, the captain. One arm is better than no arm or less. I want my life. I think I will live more than it in the ocean. Leave in him, shouted Captain. The turned his back to the captain for a minute. Then he turned around and shouted him. Get up my ship. You are afraid. You're not afraid. And I will find Monty. I will look him in the eyes. I will kill him. The smile left Captain. I hope for you and for your men. Captain didn't sleep very often now. We saw the light from his room on the many nights. He sat at his table. He looked at his maps and planned. Where was Meredith? How could we find him? He only talked to fellowship. We could hear the too many the captain have room. Captain often shouted angrily, but always speak quietly. Father Lau was different from another man. He stayed away from the other while the state lie up in the sun and the night and watched for whales. He sleep in the day. Why don't he watch for whale at night? Does his health fly uppercut? Can he see in the dark? And why didn't Captain only listen to this man? He can't see the future. Could Pharisee really see the future? What did he see? What did he scare tell with Captain? One night, found Captain asleep at his table with a light on his map around him. Crazy old man, he said quietly. You sleep tonight, but your dreams are full of your white whale. You hate my baby did, and you are taking me out man with you. To what? Out that. That some night we had the white whale, the salty. I ran and walked the other man. We looked up and saw the fellow at the stop and the sauce. He looked up at the scene and saw us at the window. There he stopped. Suddenly, a hot shower and water went up. Then a second shower. We couldn't see something white on the water. It was a white whale. A word you can. Now we understood. Father La watched at night because he could see a white whale at night. We started to go after the whale, but it quickly swam under the water. He looked at the top, stopped like the boy, but he didn't want to lose the whale. Cut the rope, shouted, stopped angrily. Never jump out the boat again. We have flee. Who will bring us more money? You are a wife. On the third trip, Pip zoomed again. When a whale hit the boat, he was a young boy, a cook, not a whaler. He was afraid. This time, Stubb left him in the exhaust ocean. Please come back, Pip shouted. Please don't leave me. The shark will eat me. But the boat went after the whale. Pip was in the ocean for a long time. The water was cold as ice, and Pip was afraid. The ocean was very dangerous. Thus, Tubbs sent the boat before him after we got a while. When Pip climbed the rope, Captain put out his hand to him. Pip was a little crazy now. When he saw Captain Appleton, he saw the hand up. Good, thank you, good, he cried. After the day, Pip was a different person. He followed Captain Ahab everywhere. He was always with him, and Captain Ahab was a different man when he was with Pip. He never shouted at him. His smile was kind up to him. After many days, the distracted got angry and shouted at Pip. Captain Ahab is not good. Stop following him. You crazy boy, why are you angry? The boy understand. I said to Robert, I'm not angry. I'm afraid I'm not the boy crazy, but the captain. He stopped it before he said the word crazy. This is not good. Is he wrong? Said Tabandi to walk away. Some days later, he heard a sound from below. It was Starbuck. He ran to Captain. Starbuck was a young man. When you saw his black clothes and sad face, you could forget that. What is it, Captain? If asked him the barriers. Captain, there's problem. Wisdom the barrels. We are losing oil. We have to stop the ship. The man had to change the bad barrel. I'm not going to lose a day solely because of some barrel. No, we are not going to stop, answered Captain. But Captain, we are losing up a lot of oil. So astounded, the man stopped working and watched. You have to stop. We will lose everything. No, we are very near Morrissey. I can feel it. We have to fight him, answered Captain. Starbuck was afraid we were causing in his fight, but we were angry too. He didn't leave. But the men, our wives and children, we are here because we want to our family. The money from the oil is important to us. We have to leave. I want to leave. We aren't talking us. We aren't doing to us. Captain out his run. Oh, not my God, we have not stopped. He shouted. Do you understand? No, one man spoke. Nobody moved. We stood and watched. Stopped slowly and turned from the gun and started to walk away. I can't win this fight, he said. He held the gun. Then he turned around and looked up at the Captain Ahab. He spoke quietly. But be careful, Captain Ahab knocked at me. I'm not a problem. You are your son and walk away. Captain. Now put me in the coffin. No, we shouted. I want to try it. So put him inside and lost it. After some minutes, he spoke. It's good. Now I will go to my bed again. He looked at the coffin from his bed. Then he closed his eyes and slept. I sat and cried. I wait. All the men were very sad too. Kiwi was a good man and the best quality on the ocean. Then one morning, Kiwi sat up. I cannot die now, he said. He had to do something first. I will die later. Now I will go to work. Nobody could understand, but we put his coffin away, down with the barrel of oil, and went back to our work. We saw into the body scene. All the washing was good. one day. We killed 4 whales. We couldn't cut the fat of a whale in the one day, so we had to watch them at that night. We put the smaller boat in the water near the dead whale. I was in Captain Abras' boat. We both happened in the two water bodies. Then we both lies on the end, and the harbors where we could see sharks in the water. Oh my god, it's done finished. Some continue only 3 and 4 came. Sometimes a lot of sharks come at the first time. They were fast and quiet. Suddenly they were there, but our boat, their ugly mouths open and they saw their teeth. We fought them and they went away, but they always come back again. Sometimes they stay away for hours. In those quiet times, Captain and his men sleep, but Fedora didn't sleep. He watched for sharks. How can a ship sail with maps? Only a crazy man threw his maps away. The men were afraid, and that night in their beds, they talked about Captain. This is very dangerous, bad thing will happen now. Then it came the wind. 1 minute the ship was quiet. Suddenly the ship will stop a mountain of water. Then down again, up and down, up and down. We could understand. This wind took outside down. Some the saw hit our little quiet boat. We could contain, we could come out, and our ship danced and the wheel ocean. Captain shouted at the sky, "Are you trying to kill me? You can't, I will fire you." So the song and the captain, "Good one, to turn back, look around you, look at the boat, look at our ship." Captain ran and got his small boat. No man will turn to ship around. I will put the harpoon through that man. We will follow Dick. He lived there in this ocean. He took my life from me here. Now I will find him and we will finish our fight. He took my life and now I will take this.